Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 22nd. This week, definitely check out astrojar.com for more awesome readers and astrologers. But let's see what comes in for you at this time. Let's see what comes up. Definitely be careful with paperwork this week, I would say. Anything paper related, double check all that stuff. But yeah, I predicted on Cancer that this card would come up for pretty much all water signs this week, and guess what? It did. It is. Well, we haven't gotten to Pisces yet, but Eight of Hearts, card of socializing, needing to socialize, and needing to get out. I would say that probably this is because a lot of water signs, I think, could be very internal, working on very specific projects, trying to get a job, trying to get a business going, or trying to get something else going in their lives. And so they could be very kind of doing the water sign thing, staying inside, and all of this type of thing. So definitely a time to get out and socialize, and also a time to brush up on people skills. I said this to some other sign, I don't remember who, but to me this card also represents needing to improve social skills, needing to improve how you talk to people, or how to keep a conversation going, and things like that. So a lot of you could be focused on that at this time. Could be focused on like learning how to talk to people, or learning better ways to talk to people and things like that. Could be, like I said, could be a very good time for you to take advantage of that type of thing. Also a card of figuring out how you truly feel about people. I think that you could be feeling better about how you feel about people. I know that's kind of weird, but I think that what that means is you're just learning how to detect the type of people that you're around, learning how to kind of like read them before you actually deal with them, or learning how to read them in a better way. So it's a very good card for that. Next, you have the Six of Spades. A lot of people getting this card this week as well. Card of incremental improvements, seeing things kind of like slowly move along, slowly improve, kind of putting the pieces together, so to speak, in a better way, and having that be very beneficial to you. It can be a card of like cleaning things out as well. It can say that you're putting too much extra crap into your life, you're putting too much extra stuff into your life that you just don't need, or you're making things like overly complicated in a lot of ways. You're not looking at things simply enough. You're making things too hard. So needing to kind of like step back and look at the big picture and figure out what you're doing in your life. And again, this is very general. I mean, this is for everything: your relationships, businesses, jobs, investments, whatever it is that you're doing. Needing to kind of like simplify those things and break them down to easier pieces, easier to digest. It can also represent just that feeling like if you make things harder, things will get better. But this card says, nope, not true. You definitely need to kind of lower that. On another note, this can represent looking for a relationship and the desire for a relationship, because it represents feeling lonely, even if you have people around you. It can represent you feeling lonely in a relationship sense, and just wanting to even to spend time with somebody. It's kind of like a perfectly water sign card, really. Sixes in general are. And it can just represent that, because, water signs, I think, are perfectly happy in relationships to just be with the person, not even doing anything, in complete silence, but just having that person there, I think, is very comforting, which is actually, like I said, a perfect representation of this card. So it can represent having a desire for that very specific thing. This is a very specific message. So, very, very specific. Next, you have the Joker. The Joker represents being very busy, working on a lot of things at this time. Like I said, I think all water signs are, working on a lot of projects. It's kind of like the Jack of all trades card. It does say, they've done a lot of studies on multitasking, which basically, multitasking is useless, is what the studies say. But this card is great for multitasking. It does say that you can focus on multiple things at this time, and you will be able to do a great job. Again, another card of socializing, needing to get out, needing to go meet with people. If you've been very focused on work, or too focused on work or something, or some other area of your life, this card says, get out, meet new people. You will find benefit there. Next, you have the Jack of Diamonds. Could represent messages about money, hearing about messages of money, but not seeing them. Again, he's got his eyes covered. So needing to open up to advice about money, finances, business, job, anything involving money. needing to allow other people to share their advice, and needing to actually hear it. This could also be an admirer for some of you. Somebody maybe like an earth sign or a water sign with heavy earth in their chart. Isn't that funny that he's got a fish and everything there as well? So it could totally be a water sign with heavy earth in their chart. Could be somebody of interest for some of you. Could be male or female, doesn't matter, even though it's a jack. Next, 3 of diamonds. Double check all your paperwork. Definitely. This card represents problems with paperwork, so make sure that you're double checking everything. Next, you have the 3 of spades. Again, double check all your paperwork. Also, be careful of your health. Like I said, I mean, I think this week, I even think that the Joker is coming up not delivering the typical message. I think the Joker's coming up and saying, like I said, it's a card of multitasking, card of doing multiple things, but I think that it's even more specific than that. I think the Joker is saying, like, hey, if you've only been working, it's time for you to stop. It's time for you to work. Yes, you need to work, but also time for you to do other stuff so that you don't get sick, so that you don't get injured or anything like that. I sat in a chair for many, many years, and definitely, ruined my back during that time. Had to do a bunch of exercises and things to strengthen it back up, and all this other bad stuff. Gained a bunch of weight, so don't get stuck in that trap with this card of stopping. I think you have the 6 of spades as well. I think it's very important for water signs at this time, especially with Neptune and Pisces. Laziness right there. So I think it's very important with the 6 of spades as well to keep the momentum going. If you're doing something, just keep doing it. Don't stop. Keep that positive, especially if it's positive momentum. Like if you're working out, seeing results, keep going. If you're on a diet, seeing results, keep going. And even in other areas too, business. If you're doing something that's working, keep doing it. But like I said, I think you need to spread things out this week with this card. Next, you have the 8 of clubs. Feeling like, focusing too much on the big picture. I think you need to keep your visions large at this time. Yes, absolutely. You even have the Ace of Diamonds, keeping your visions large, keeping them kind of big. But I think maybe you're keeping things too big, and I think you need to focus down to tiny little pieces, and completing things in small bits. Like I said, I think I said it to somebody last week. It's like, they say, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. I think that's a perfect representation of the times right now, is that the universe wants us to kind of break things down to more simple parts. Probably, I would say, so that we can learn. So that we can learn in a better way. I think it's like people, how do I put this? I think the message I'm getting also is that I think people are too, the universe is, if we try to focus on something too big, let's put it this way, the universe isn't going to allow it to work. It's just not going to work for us. We have Saturn and all this other stuff, which is trying to break down structure and all this other stuff. But I think if we focus on the tiny little pieces and learn as we go, it's like the universe is actually making things easier, if that makes sense, because it's like having us focus on a smaller part so it can teach us our lessons on maybe a smaller level, which makes them easier. I don't know. Weird message, but I have to deliver it. So finally, you have the Ace of Diamonds. Very good card for money. Very good card for prosperity, but it is a card of trying your unique ideas, trying weird ideas, trying different ideas as well. This card says that a lot of your success will come from weird stuff, unique stuff, and also kind of what I would call Hail Mary type of things, where it's like you're just trying, you're kind of throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks. It's definitely a time for innovation. But like I said, the thing is with this card, especially in business, I would say, if you're in business or in social media or something, you're trying to see success, this card just says try everything. It says that probably 90% of the things you try won't work, and I know that sounds annoying, but at the same time, it's when you do get that one thing to work where there's just going to be, massive success. So definitely keep going and try your weird ideas. I would say that if you feel if you're in a meeting and you feel nervous about sharing something, that's exactly what you should share. If you're thinking about your business and you're nervous or you're afraid of what people will think if you do something, that's exactly what you should do with this card. It's about taking a risk, doing something that you feel is risky at this time. So very interesting week. Definitely been a weird week for everybody, gotta say. Messages have been very strange. So definitely enjoy it, embrace the weirdness, and thank you for watching.